everybody.
We are doing a special event here today.
Yes, indeed.
We are going through the first look at this new game that we are involved with called Diamonia, the Wolf's-Eye Story.
Yes, it's a game of your own creation.
Yes, this is what lives inside my head, and it's being visualized, and that can be a very scary thing.
It's been a long time in the making, though.
Yeah, this has been in the works since February of 2021, I think.
I like the ducks.
Yeah, I had a feeling Miss Birdie over there would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is going to change because I'm actually voice acting this part.
Ah, well, there you go.
I can't really remember clearly when it all started. I actually wonder if I was actually born in the middle of it all. Yes, my mother just went into labor in the middle of a battle on the field, and whoa, that was an experience. I should know.
Would be.
I was there.
And you remember it?
Hey, the brain is a very powerful thing.
When it's developed.
Yeah, well, development begins from wombs and ends in the tomb.
Yeah.
That's what
That's a good way of putting it.
That was what I was taught in high school psychology.
Yeah, it's a good way to remember it. I like the rhyme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we start off with this character named Ashhava.
Ashala.
He have a lot to say.
Sounds like an herb.
Well, Ashhava, I when I came to naming him, I was going through like I always go through like a name generator, or sometimes I'll just put like, you know, the word fire and then see how it translates to other languages to come up with a name, and then Ash came up. And I was like, well, I know that I'm going to have Ash has a sister. So then I did the opposite where it was ice. I can't remember which language I translated it to, but the same one that gave me Ash gave me May. And then it was like 5 months later I realized, wait a minute, Ash and May, those were characters in Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Oh, she was murdered on the job.
Yeah.
Bringing it back.
Yeah. And now this character is torturing himself by being at a place that reminds him of that. And here we have his little buddy friend, Felix.
I do like the drawing. It's adorable.
It's based off of my kitty, Phoebe.
Phoebe. Yes, we've mentioned Phoebe on the show before.
Yeah. She's mostly climbing all over you.
Yes.
Oh, here's the first bit of voice
Hey,
acting.
Felix. How did you know I'd be here?
It wasn't hard to figure out. You always come here between jobs.
I'm that predictable, huh?
Indeed.
Indeed.
I think that all the cutscenes are going to be re-edited because the volume is just kind of
Oh dear.
dramatically
Mara's waiting for you
lower
back at the guild.
here
You need to
in the
get going at
cutscenes than
once.
it is with the rest of the game. There's also the added voice acting talents of somebody named Hannah, who's now voicing Felix.
Oh, nice.
And the voice gets pitched up, so that sounds a little bit more like a mythical flying creature.
Good effect.
I remember that one time we were playing around with a sound editing program, and we had you squee into the microphone or the recorder, and then I just put the most amount of reverb I think I ever have in my life on it, and it was like, oh my god, if that was a fire alarm.
And then we pitched it down, and it was
Scary.
sounded like screams of the damned.
Screams of the damned.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that was weird.
So, this is kind of like the demo version of all this. I'm just kind of going around collecting money because,
You know where it's all hidden.
yeah, no spoiler alerts or anything like that going on here.
Well, it's little tips to get you started.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, I've played through this, at least this portion, like at least 20 times by now.
Well, that's part of making a video game. You just gotta play it and play it and play it and play it and play it to make sure it all goes smoothly. And every time you change something, you have to make sure that didn't trigger some other bug to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, there was
It's like animating. It takes forever.
because I know you played it like a year ago, but it was still very rough.
Early in development.
Yeah, and so currently our mother is actually giving it a playthrough, and she found a pot in I think the second town, which was you were supposed to find like 5 gold or something like that, but for some reason I think the code got a little mixed up and it gave her 5 potions, and it kept doing it every time she clicked the button to trigger it.
Time the interaction happened.
And then she ended up with, like, 99 potions, and she sold off half of it. Wasn't able to get a lot farther than I was intending on anybody to get that soon in the game.
It was an awesome little discovery. I'm kind of bummed you took it out.
Well, that's not the point of the game, to cheat.
Well, no, but it's fun when you have those little Easter eggs that can help you, and you're like, you know what? I don't want to level farm. I don't have time for that. It takes forever.
Well, that's John, our friend.
Looks a little young there.
Well, the new one hasn't been made yet, so it's been kind of limited with time as of late.
Oh, I get that.
But yeah, later on in the game, this house opens, and actually there's ones all over the world. And what it is it's a training dojo.
It's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's rather original.
That way you can farm from the safety of the middle of the town.
Yeah.
Where you have the healing statue right there. You got the shops and stuff. It's quite convenient.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I thought it was brilliant.
Well, you invented it, so of course you will.
Well, I mean, I think it was a brilliant idea without toting my own ego.
Right.
But yeah, so I voice Ash Hava in this, and you voice somebody too.
Yes, indeed. Tara Stone is the character's name.
Yeah, and she's kind of scary.
Huh. Well, when she has to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's like that intimidating. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to equip the staff I just bought.
Oh, that's a little problematic.
Potentially. Well, I'm halfway there.
Yeah.
So a lot of this game, I'm sure you can tell because, well, we grew up in the same house and we played the game together. But I was inspired a lot with like how the game functions from a game from like the 90s that was originally for the Sega called Lunar.
We had the PS1 version.
Yeah.
Silver Star Story Complete.
And we actually got the PSP remake. And I'm still waiting for the remake of the second one.
Yeah, I tried the second one several times, but I never get too far.
Well, as I recall, there was... Oh, crap. I did it again.
You forgot the staff again.
Oh, shiitake. I don't know why I got shiitake. That's like the 5th time I've referenced shiitake mushrooms today.
Indeed. Oh, he saw it at the market, and then it's just been mushrooms ever since.
Well, you were telling me a story about how a dog was tripping.
Oh, yeah, he found some wild mushrooms, and he's, like, still a puppy. He's, like, 5 months. So, you know, they eat everything. And he ate these wild mushrooms, and then he was, like, tripping all night long. You know, they try to stand him up, and he just kind of flop over. He had this glazed look in his eyes. He was, like, drooling. He was tripping balls.
Not chasing him?
No. Well, maybe in his mind. But, you know, they called the vet and explained what was going on. They're like, it sounds like, you know, he ate some mushrooms or there's not much point in bringing him in here because we can't really do anything for him. So like, save yourself the bill. And just keep an eye on him. It's good that he threw up, so there's just try to get him drink something. But yeah, by the morning he was fine. He was back to his old self again. But yeah, he's chowing down on some shrooms.
I feel like he's going to be very hesitant about going anywhere near mushrooms now.
Oh, I don't know. He might make a beeline for it.
Well,
he finds it again, or he just might forget because he's a puppy.
Well, that's the thing with dogs is they will drink alcohol in an abundance if you expose them to that. But if they get drunk, they get one whiff of alcohol and they'll run away from it.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'll go right for her. The glory. This place feels so spooky.
Spooky.
Please be careful, okay? So, and what I like about this, and what I liked about Lunar too, is that with a game like this, oftentimes you're just wandering around the world, like Pokemon. I think even Dragon Quest or Dragon Warriors. I can't. Oops, there goes with my microphone. But you'll just be wandering around, and then okay, let's throw a battle at you, and then the screen like shatters into a bunch of glassy bits, and then you're like, this again.
Well, Pokemon is changing, moving away from that a little bit, where the Pokemon are actually out roaming about. You could see what's out there. I love that feature.
Was that with Let's Go Eevee?
I think that was, yes, because I remember a shiny Fearow spawned, and the Overworld sprite was a shiny. Because I saw it, it was like green. I'm like, is the game glitching, or is that a shiny? And I initiated the battle, and it was a shiny. And I'm like, oh my god, that is so cool! So, but Pokemon Legends Arceus, or Arceus, there's debate about the pronunciation.
Oh, is that the one that's Breath of the Wild?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually like that. That was the the one Pokemon game I've gotten the farthest in.
No, that was really cool how they did that. I enjoyed it. It's a little terrifying when the Pokemon are chasing after you. Like those alpha ones that have like they're bigger than normal, and they got the red eyes, and they're kind of like glowing.
Yeah.
And then they're just like running you down. It's a little intimidating.
Well, I don't know.
Especially early on.
I don't know what it is about Pokemon, but I rarely can I think the farthest in like the old classic games I ever got was at like the third gym, and then I just completely lose interest.
Well, the original, like the old ones, are kind of brutal because in the first ones there was no such thing as like the XP share. So if you wanted to level up a Pokemon, you had to be switching Pokemon out or make sure you're only battling with that Pokemon. You had to level them up individually. It took forever. I go back and replay those games. I'm like, wow, I was a patient child. But that was cutting edge back then, so.
Well, no, because I remember there was this one game. It was like a 3D game. Probably, I think it was in the GameCube era.
I loved GameCube.
And was it Pokemon Coliseum?
That was the one where you started with the Umbreon and Espeon, and you were like a former Team Rocket-esque group member. Team Snag'em, it was, or something like that.
Was it the game with like that mountain with like 100?
Yes.
Okay, I think it was that one. I remember I decided, well, I just kind of want to play around, but I don't want to do anything like, I just kind of want to, screw around and, just keep me occupied for a little bit. And so I went onto your file and with the intention of not doing anything that would screw you up or anything. And I didn't know where you were. And it turned out that you were at like the very end of the game and there was no way I could get out of where you were. So I just said, oh, because it was like, as soon as I started, it put me into this battle. And I was like, okay, I'll just beat this battle and just go wherever. And it turned out that was the battle that was the end of the game.
Yep.
And I finished the battle, and I'm seeing the credits go up, and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Did I just beat the game? Did Jackie just get through all of this, and I just ran it across the goal line? It's like,
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh!
Pretty much.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay!
Yeah. Wasn't there something like Ho-Oh shows up or something at the end?
Yeah.
And that's like your one chance to catch him, and you didn't catch him?
Again, because I was
And
going
auto-saves.
I was going into it with the impression I wasn't going to do anything to
Right.
screw with your file
Oh,
because
and I get that. That's why I didn't kill you.
Yeah, so
I'm a very understanding person.
but
Even
I-
when you finish my game for me and lose my one chance to catch one of my favorite Pokemon.
well, I didn't know where you were.
Yeah. So I don't really remember how that game ends because I don't know if I ever saw it.
Oh, the Zomble dropped the key.
Mm-hmm.
And now we will see the wonderful voice acting talents. I think are was Bailey Pellegrini. I hope I said that right. I've never actually spoken to these voice actors.
It's all been like
yeah.
text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello there. My name is Katrina Linetti. I'm not from around here, so getting lost wasn't too hard to do. Although, you look fairly confident in where you are going. Could you possibly be from around here?
Yeah.
That was a very weak yeah.
Well, and I think this is actually going to be a scene that's changing a little bit because the story initially started off as me just like writing it out like in novel form, and I was like, this is just too good. I need to find some other medium for this. And originally in the story, Ash kind of like he's kind of playing it like Obi-Wan not telling Luke Darth Vader's his
Right,
father from
yeah.
a certain point of view. It's like Ash isn't really saying like, oh, I'm a wizard at this guild that you're looking at joining. And-
Right. Well,
and
you gotta, vet them. Make
Yeah.
sure they're not a scumbag.
right.
Or just sucking up to you so they can get what they want.
Yeah. And that's why Felix had that response like, why aren't you saying that, we actually,
know.
our main headquarters is in this place she's looking for. Why are you just saying, well, that's where we're headed?
Yeah. Why are you so vague?
Don't you just love words that are spelt and they are sounded differently than the way they're spelled? Like, vague. It's like, vague.
Vague.
Sounds French.
It's like fatigue. Fatigue.
Vague. English is a wonderful language to
Not really.
not really want to learn. Because
Okay, I'll
it doesn't
break
follow its own rules.
Oh god, no. English is a nightmare.
How can height and weight be spelt one letter different and not rhyme?
I know. And if, the moose and goose are spelt the same, but the plural form of goose is geese, and moose is moose, no, it should be meese.
Yes, I spent time with my niece this weekend. My apologies to anybody who plays this, but this is stuck in my head every time I hear this. Fluffy kitty. Fluffy kitty.
AKA Phoebe.
Yeah. Because she's a fluffy kitty.
That she is.
She's actually curled under your blanket right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting. I have it draped over the chair, and then I'm sitting on it, so I could, with the intent of wrapping up in it. But then Phoebe decided to curl up underneath, and I'm just gonna let her be. She's adorable.
Let her be. Let her be. Let her be. Let her be. She's a fluffy kitty. Let her be. No, there's this great shirt I saw. It was like 4 of the Muppets on the T-shirt in like the style of the Let It Be album cover, and it was Let Her Be.
Ha! That's funny. That's clever. I like that.
Oh, I love that. I if I could find it again, I'd probably buy it if I had the money. So, Katrina has just joined the Wolf's Eye Guild. And that's kind of why this is called the Wolf's Eye Stories, because it's a story that follows the mages of the Wolf's Eye Guild. So it's kind of like the story that they all share together.
That's pretty cool.
Fluffy kitty.
Yep.
Did he say anything? Oh, there he is. Hey, Ash, you should try some of my special mix.
Huh.
For some reason, my body is saying not to drink purple liquids.
What if it gives you power?
Well, it's like, cause
Especially if it gives me power.
at the end of the game in the credits, it says, you know, there's like none of these characters are based off of any real people. It's purely coincidental, except Theo Walsh.
Yes.
It's like I literally copied and pasted him from our friend John.
Yeah. He was quite a character himself.
Yeah, and it's like you literally, it's like every line Theo has, it's like I could easily hear John saying, like if he was put in this world.
Right.
Of course, I had to kind of censor it back a little bit,
Yes.
but because there was this period of time, because he's your workout buddy, and you would was it C4 or something like that?
Yes,
and,
C4.
And there was like multiple different flavors you could have. And he would mix it all together until he got purple.
Yeah.
Trying to go for like a Thanos boost or something.
Thanos juice, he called it.
Ew.
Yes. Because it'll give him power. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
If he really wants power, all he has to do is call Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Huh?
Huh?
I think he wants to, experience was misspelled there, just so you know. It was like expirance. I'm like, I don't think that's what you meant.
Well, it's not ready for release.
I just wanted to point it out in case you weren't aware.
Expiring. Somebody's expiring, I guess.
Oh, some expirance will do you some good. Wait a minute. You telling me to go die? Jeez. Or spoil myself. I'm not sure. We're getting our signals crossed here. I'm not sure what you want me to do.
Just go kill yourself. You jerk.
Exactly. So expirance will do you some good. Wisdom has always been chasing you, but you have always been faster.
Ooh.
I love it. I saw it in a meme.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm trying to cement it in my mind and remember it. It's a work in progress.
We got some hornels here.
Huh. It looks like a beadroom.
Well, a lot of the monsters, they came with the program. I just created new names for them.
Is there a way you can create your own monster sprites?
There is, but there's so many.
Makes
I don't know if I
sense.
want to draw each one individually, and it's not going to look as good.
Okay, that's a good point.
I think I did actually do that with. There's a group of characters in this game called the Zodiacs. They're kind of the evil people, and naturally, because I'm a Gemini and you're a Leo, I made those the two last standing, at least on the evil side, because I think there are two that actually
Switch sides?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because they didn't like what the evil people were doing.
Oh, good for them.
And they're kind of the ones that explain what
What's
whole
going on.
thing is going on, and it's like, holy crap.
Ash is about to die.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there
No,
you
he's not.
go. I didn't say he was going to. He was about to, though.
He was about to experience some expirance.
Exactly. Yes.
But now he's level 3.
Well, he lucked out there.
I think I'm going to heal. Yeah, as long as you have Felix, he's kind of like the tutorial cushion. I guess, because he's only around for like the beginning half of, or the first, well, not even the first full chapter, but kind of just like until you get your feet wet with the game,
Right.
and he can kind of heal you, or he has like 3 times he can heal you before you need to visit one of the statues to get your magic bar back up.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just kind of there if you need to be healed out in the field.
That's handy.
And it's, the training wheels of the game.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I thought that was damn nice of me.
And also having that key item that will always give you a hint on where to go.
Yeah, I'll show that right now. So if you go under item and under key item, you'll find the star icon. It'll always tell you what you need to do. So right now I need to go to Sylvia and kind of learn where and how I have to stop this Dark Guild from destroying the city.
Ah, well, that'd be a good thing to stop.
Yeah, well, because this is like the year this game takes place is in this world is 1870, and so that's
Isn't that like around Industrial Revolution time?
well, in our world.
Ah.
For them, that would be like right when Industrial Revolution was starting, because I know there is in the original manuscript there was actually no, it does come in through this game because Katrina's father owned a railway company, and it's kind of like because I built a lot of the history of this story based off of our own history, so it would align perfectly. There was a story I was going to have them trapped on like a steam-powered boat or a ship, and kind of mimic the Titanic story, where it sinks along on the voyage, and all the characters are like, but it's like I think Katrina's on the ship against her will, and everybody else is trying to save her, and then that's how they end up in like I don't really remember because I started working on this. So I never really developed the idea that well, but that was the intention, to have like seven novel length.
7?
Yeah.
Merlin's beard!
Well, because originally, back when I was in college, I took the kind of like the story that we were playing when we were kids. Was it Magneto or something?
Oh, yeah.
And then there was Torque and Ice Talon. And all of them, and that became the 7-book series I wrote when I was in college that I still need to go back and edit. And I don't know, maybe if I get some traction with this, I'll really push hard to get it published. But I mean, I already got the work all done.
Yeah.
I just kind of need to neaten it up.
Polish it.
Yeah. Well, and it's a lot more of like in the trenches, what is in the books right now, and there's like a whole other part of it, like the whole politics side that leads to what happens, that I never really went into, mainly because I didn't really understand politics back then.
Yeah, understandable.
I still don't really.
Yeah.
It's like I try to, but then it's like, nope.
It's all a game to screw the people, really.
Well, I don't like getting too political when
Yeah.
people can respond.
Yeah.
No, because like I made a simple comment the other day to a customer about like how like the register at the job I work at, it just automatically like puts in the tax and like it pulls up the donation for the Red Cross because we just and it all the money goes to the victims of the hurricane that just went through Florida. So I was just like making a little comment like it's kind of scary just how much control I have over this whole process, and then the woman went on a whole whoa. Like, yeah, conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory, and there was no valid proof to back up anything she said. It's kind of just crazy just how much the Nickelback tour screwed the whole world. I used Nickelback as a euphemism. Oh, and here we go. We meet Niles Ambit.
Somehow I knew my path would cross again with Wolf's Eye's notorious hothead. So, what have you come to burn up here in Sylvia?
That sounded like a come on.
No, that's the voice talents of Nick Ells. Again, I hope I said the name right. No, Ash and Niles are kind of designed to butt heads.
Just because one's fire and one's water, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of natural to think of that between those two elements, I guess.
Yeah.
But I kind of based that off of my relationship with my uncle growing up. How, like, we were the best of friends when we were really little, and then I don't know what happened. I mean, he kind of seemed to have mellowed out a little,
Yeah.
I guess. But there was, like, just... Why?
Yeah. Not sure.
I don't really want to get
Yeah.
into that, mainly because I don't know the whole story. But
Right.
this is a story I know a lot of.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, we've reached about the half-hour mark on this, and then I think we're after this we're going to try to finish off Bendy.
Yes, indeed.
Bendy.
Looking forward to it.
Yaberstobra. Yeah, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for it. Although it really helps having Katrina have like a... I'll need that. The cherries of life.
I like the not over Clover.
The not overcloak. Well, I you know, it's... You gotta have some unique things, you know?
It's a fun name. It's easy to remember, and it rhymes.
Yeah, well, and you know, if you're lucky, you might live.
Yeah.
That's why you want to get a 4-leaf clover.
Well, it's not over.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna try to level up Katrina a little bit because I don't feel confident about jumping into the battle with the bad dude there just yet. And luckily with Niles there, this should go a little quicker. We
Oh, it
found something today. Lemon lime soda. This was something we did when we first started out with Higher Gaming when it was a streaming on Twitch thing. Where I would try random stuff I found in the market.
Yeah.
I'll try it. Whoa. That's an
Lemony?
interesting aftertaste.
Limey?
It's kind of a mix.
I mean, it smells like Sprite.
Yeah. I also kind of... I don't think this is a good advertising point, but I kind of felt like a Pledge or something. But it's just because Pledge just seems lemony.
Yeah. I see where the pledge comes through. It's the lemon, definitely.
I pledge allegiance to the lime,
Yeah, and it's the lime that kind of gives it that cleaning taste.
which is currently screwing with my taste buds.
Yeah, it's like drinking pledge.
Well, thankfully not as dangerous as drinking
Yeah,
Pledge.
no. It's like it tastes what pledge smells like,
Okay.
and smell and taste are closely linked. So
Well, that's interesting. Oh, there was something I had once, and it smelt like one thing, but it did not taste like that. Actually, it just reminded me of another story of John Remember that phase he had where he would put anything on a Triscuit?
Yeah. The Dark Triscuit days.
The dark Triscuit days.
Chili lime sauce sardines
Oh,
on a Triscuit.
oh my God! That was the one that.
That was the one that.
Nobody would eat it, so I said, well, oh fine, I'll do it. And then I took it, and then I put it in my mouth, and I took one bite, and then my jaw said, no, stop, you aren't completing this. Abort. Aruga.
It was really funny to watch the whole process.
And it's like, it was stuck in my mouth for like 5 minutes because my mouth just, my body would not allow me to do anything with it.
Right.
I was paused in sardine limbo.
So then I think it was after that response, John's like, okay, well, I'm going to eat it. And he popped it in his mouth, and he's like,
well, you were all making fun of me. Because, oh, come on, it's not that bad. And then John put it in his mouth, and he, too, was struggling. And then you and his wife, Sue, just, like, showed us up.
Yeah, well, at first, what I did was I plugged my nose, because I know that link between smell and taste. You can do it with Starburst. It's really fun to do. If you plug your nose, and then you eat the Starburst, and, like, when you're halfway through it, you won't taste anything. Unplug your nose, and then you'll just be hit right in the face with the flavor. It is really cool and fun to do. But I was trying to do that, and then I think I got called out for doing it. Like, stop unplugging your nose! I'm like, oh, fine. And then I tasted it. I wasn't a fan of the chili lime, but the sardine, it was like tuna fish. I'm like, oh, well, this isn't that bad.
See, and it's like I can't even get like 5 feet within distance of tuna because I just cannot stand the smell of it.
John's like that too.
Tuna and hash or
corned beef hash.
Corned beef hash.
I was like,
wait a minute,
what?
hash? No, that's not what I mean.
Yeah, that's why the confused pause.
I saw it. It's like your forehead wrinkled. It's like, wait a minute, what did you just say?
What do you mean? Because I know it's not what you're saying, but there's something there. I understand.
Well, I knew hash was somewhere in the name, and
yes,
so
corned beef hash.
I didn't think it through, and I was like, oh, I hope she can just assume the rest of it. But then I was like, oh, wait a minute, this is public. I can't just say hash.
It could be anything.
It could be like cash. Green.
It could. It very well could. Not all cash is green, though. I just saw Canadian money recently. That was,
oh, yeah.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, there's
colorful, and the transparent bits are neat.
Transparent bits.
Yeah, well,
I don't know why that just tickled my funny bone.
But it's really cool. They have like portions of the bill where it's see-through, but they have like this reflective material in there, so it like catches the light and my attention. My so short attention span.
Well, I think I have a peso somewhere.
I have some euros, the coins, somewhere.
Yeah, I think I have a few of
Germany.
those too. It's like, because I was like asking, how much would this transfer to American money? It's like, it wasn't enough for me to justify doing it.
Like half a cent.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not gonna give you half a penny. You just keep the peso.
How would you even do that? Although
cut it in half.
I hear that they're getting rid of pennies now.
Oh, are they gonna finally do that?
Or no, I think Canada just did.
Oh,
and
it's a smart thing. I don't understand why we don't do it because it costs 2 cents to make one.
Well, because it didn't
No,
used to be.
it's so the capitalism, the marketing thing, so they can do like $4.99. See, it's not $5. It's a psychological trick.
That one time where I just went up to Mom. It's like, does 99 cents really count?
Yes, it really does.
Why?
It's a psychological trick. So you just see the 4, and you're like, oh, okay. Now, if it was just listed $5, it'd be like, oh, well, that's $5. But that says 4. And even though it's only 1 cent less, which you're going to be paying in the tax anyway, unless it's a state that doesn't have sales tax.
Yeah.
Like New Hampshire. They don't have a sales tax. But, yeah. It's all a game.
And that's why we prefer to actually play games than play the actual one.
Right. If only the money in the games could amount to something in real life.
Oh yeah, well, because I haven't really stopped to think about it, but the money currency in this game is called Kuma, and I don't know, it's just some random name I got from a generator somewhere. But I actually have not sat down and thought about, okay, how much would one relate to a U.S. dollar? Because I think I heard like a Zelda rupee is like worth
A lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember my roommate in college, Matt, he would get pissed off when his wallet was full.
Oh,
and it was
yes.
like, he's wasting like $3 billion. And it's like, dude, calm down. It's a video game.
Yeah, you can't transfer that over to your bank. It's
If you
not
could, then I'd be pissed.
yeah. I kind of wish you could, because that'd be nice. I'd be
rolling
way,
in money.
Yeah.
We'd have a much better studio.
Yeah.
We'd actually have a studio.
Yeah.
This would actually probably look a lot more professional than what we actually make it look like.
Yeah. I wouldn't have to work a job, so I'd be able to help with the editing and all that. And add a flair to it. Oh well, reality is real.
Please, somebody out there, if you're listening to this, make that a shirt.
Reality is real. Brought to you by Higher Gaming.
Higher gaming.
It's called that for a reason.
And not hash gaming.
No. Not yet. We'll work up to it.
It's amazing. I've never laughed this much during a boss battle.
Ah,
Yeah,
well.
this is technically the first boss battle of the game.
well, there you go. You can tell by the difference in the music.
Oh, yeah. No, there's 3 different battle musics. There's the regular battle, there's the boss battle, and then there's the Big Kahunga.
The big kahunga.
The final boss.
Da-da-da-da.
Kahunga Man.
The big cheese.
The big cheese. And he ain't Swiss.
Nice, stinky.
Well, until after the battle, then you'd have all the holes in him.
Yes.
It's kind of a dark, morbid thought.
Well, it depends on your weapon. I mean,
The arrows of light.
like an arrow, yeah, that makes small holes, but like a hammer would make a lot bigger holes, and I think that'd be a little more gruesome.
If I had a hammer.
But like a sword, you would expect that. Or like that mace thing that the boss has there. That would leave some nasty holes.
To say the least.
Hmm.
Okay. I think I need to give Katrina a potion.
I think she'd appreciate that.
I think she would too. And then I'm going to
She doesn't need any more expirants.
I almost forgot about that. All right. And I like having the voice actors actually have that battle
Emotes.
Yeah. And Aqua Blast.
Huh.
How dare you? Burn Voyage.
I like the pun.
Yeah. Well, that was originally an issue, because I initially had everybody have like some type of pun related battle cry, and when I got to Niles, it was like, this feels too silly for him.
Yeah. He's not a punny character.
No. So Ash, obviously Katrina. I think Terra
Yes.
is a punny person too.
Yes, well, of course.
I think Arya is kind of a little bit more straight-laced.
Joyless.
Well,
Never close yourself to the joy of puns.
well,
The worse they are, the better they are.
Arya's kind of an interesting case. I mean, she had like a very tragic background.
Yeah.
I don't really get into it, for spoiler reasons. But when I started creating these characters, I was doing a lot of study with the Myers-Briggs personality charts, and I was doing a lot of like trying to learn all of them, and so I decided to designate each character with one of the personalities.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Arya, I think I made an INTP. And they're kind of more like introverted. They're introspective, but they're more of like a thinking and perceptive. So it's kind of like they're, I don't want to say like a living computer, but that's kind of the way I've noticed the mind works. And Ash I made an INFJ because, well, I just figured base the character off of me.
Yeah.
It would be easier to write.
INFJ for the win!
Yeah, but the thing is with INFJ and INTP, they're both like introverts and they're hard to get to open up. But if you put the two of them together, they will like... It's almost like ducks. They won't quack when they're alone, but they will start quacking like hell if you put them next to each other.
Yes, and we know all about that with our ducks. Oh, there are watch ducks.
Yeah, they...
We know if somebody's here. Quack, 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 quack,
or if
quack,
something
quack, quack,
is
quack.
here.
Yeah, whether it's the deer or a fox.
Yeah, I feel mixed about that.
Yeah, well, there was apparently a fox that came out and grabbed our male duck, Loki. But to Loki's benefit, he's so fat. The fox was having a really tough time dragging him across the yard. It had him by the wing, and he's like flapping and thrashing, and the fox is putting up a hell of a fight trying to get this duck, and he didn't get him. Our mom heard what was going on and was able to startle the fox, so it ran off back into the woods. But yeah, no, Loki's obesity saved him.
Fat duck.
Yeah, it's fortunate because they also just molted, so they don't have their flight feathers, so they can't fly right now.
Well, they can't fly anymore
They
because they're
can't-
usually so heavy.
Well, they can like get a foot or two off the ground at max, but they kind of just hover, really. It is really funny to watch them go.
Well, I think there was
Run,
one time
fly.
I saw, I think Loki tried to fly and his wings were like flapping, and then he got maybe like a
Tail is
his centimeter in the air before he face planted.
Yes, he's not the most graceful of flyers. Well, no duck is really. I see like the wild ones, and it always looks to me like they're about to have a heart attack. There's everything they can do to stay up in the air. They make me tired watching them. But then you watch something like a turkey vulture, which just really glides on the wind. And it's like, oh, flying looks fun.
It glides on the wind.
And then the duck flies by fighting for its life, and you're like, oh, maybe not. That would probably be what I would look like, so...
I'm starting to feel a little nervous.
Oh?
Yeah.
Do you have any clovers?
I just used it to bring back Katrina.
Oh, dear.
I'm hoping this is going to be a case like last time where I have one hit left, and I win. This might end up being the end of the episode if I die here.
Well, it would be close to the end of the episode anyway, even if you won. Because this is the end of the demo after this fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So... regardless, it would wrapped up around the same time.
Oh, dear.
Oh!
We totally just clipped the microphone, but that was freaking awesome.
It was a worthy cause.
Oh, yeah. That was just like last time.
Oh, and you found a water stone. You can get a Vaporeon now.
No, the water well, it's a gem. It's the first gem of Xeric, and there's like a whole story behind those things that I won't really get into because we're kind of running out of material to be talking over.
But yeah, that was quite the dramatic finish there.
Oh my goodness, that was
Good thing you leveled up a little.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, and I was
Nice.
thinking halfway through, it's like, I didn't buy weapons for Katrina and Niles.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So there's a hint. Buy them some weapons, and it'll be a little easier than what you just saw. Unless you like thrilling things like that.
Yeah, well,
If that's the case, stick around for Bendy.
we grew up in New England during the Tom Brady years.
Yeah.
We're kind of used to it being cut close to the wire like that.
28-3.
Well, I don't want to rub it into people's faces.
Well, no, I mean, like, that's the epitome of stress
Oh my
in a sporting
God.
event. That was just incredible. beyond words for that.
It's like I feel everybody was like completely floored by that.
That was like the most thrilling Super Bowl in history, I think.
I think that was the most historical Super Bowl because wasn't that the first Super Bowl to ever go into overtime?
Mm-hmm.
That was the first Super Bowl where the winning team wasn't in the lead the
At all.
entire game.
Yeah.
At any point in the game.
No. The very last moment.
Yeah, that game had so many historical records just
On that catch that Edelman made. Where his hands moved like faster than a falcon's wing beat. That was insane.
Was that when he started to be called the squirrel?
Oh no, we called him that beforehand.
Oh.
Flying squirrel. Yeah.
Well, we've already told the story about the flying squirrel that danced on my cat's head.
Oh yeah. Quite the game.
And so is this.
Yes, indeed.
As we're rounding about. Yeah,
Wrapping
so
up the demo here.
yeah, I pretty much spent from August until I think it was right after Thanksgiving just working on the main storyline with the programming and all of that stuff, and that's how long it took to actually make that.
Oh well.
And then I kind of took the next few months off because I just spent like 4 months just programming in a computer.
Yeah. Need a break after a while.
And also, when it comes to art, it's always good to take a step back and just let it breathe for a little bit and then come back to it's like, oh,
Fresh your
whoa.
eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I got back to working on it, I want to say February-ish. And then it wasn't until I was gonna just kind of plow ahead and just finish it for my own amusement. Then I was like, I can do so much more with this. And then that's when I started, well, let's try adding in some voice acting. And it's like, then I heard all the voice acting. It's like, I gotta make animated cutscenes.
Yeah.
And so I got in contact with an animator. And then it's like, okay, I need to really push hard for this now. And so now I'm looking at working with a concept artist to
awesome.
create some new species. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I got like the first one of them kind of drawn out. I'll actually show you right after the episode ends.
Oh, cool.
Kind of a fishy creature called a gale.
Intriguing.
Indeed. This is Kagu. He is supposed to be a shrubble, but I have no idea what a shrubble looks like right now, so that's kind of what he looks like right now.
Yeah. Just a placeholder sprite.
Right. Oh, I didn't mean to rhyme.
Yeah. That's alright. I didn't mind that time.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, you know.
Yes, John talking about how
Say
manly a
it
day
so.
it is. I will not go. Turn the lights off. Carry me home.
No, I have a bad back.
Huh.
I pick and choose who I carry.
You know, and I think I've seen this in a meme, but that song, it just goes like, work sucks, I know, but that song came out when I was a little kid, and so I never really understood what that line meant until I actually had a job where I can say, okay, work really did suck. And now I know what work sucks means. I mean, I always kind of grew up expecting it,
Yeah.
but I didn't actually know what it meant. Oh yeah, that's right, there's a cutscene here. And this is a special room where all the gems go. It's kind of like the quest status menu. But you only have access to it a few times.
Ah.
You know what this place is, Ash?
Nope.
It looks like some type of shrine room. It looks so pretty here.
Huh.
This is a hidden chamber that was once part of the island of the goddesses.
You want to read one?
Okay. That actually exists? It exists?
Oh, crap.
Exists.
Uh,
Exists. Exodus.
yeah, you're really seeing the rough cut here.
I thought that was just a legend.
What, the rough cut?
Ah.
It's all true. About 800 years ago, did it crumble down. The city of the sun, known as Solace, was then established at its resting place.
Yeah, I speak weird in my head, and so I think that translates sometimes into my word choice.
Yeah.
Give me the gem.
Well, since you asked nicely.
I will now run away with this gem.
Ha.
You will never see it again. You will, however,
Run me
see
again.
me rule the world.
And then he dies.
Yeah.
Heart attack.
Pikachu, use your heart attack!
Ha.
All right, and then he just kind of tells us we need to go someplace, and then, yeah.
And that's that. Too
And,
shabby.
yeah, this is the first look at Diamonia, the wolf-sized story.
Hope you enjoyed the sneak peek.
And we hope to do the full thing when it's ready.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I do at least.
You created it, so.
Yeah. So, thank you for joining us on Higher Gaming, this
Indeed.
special event,
Yeah.
I guess. And see you next time.
We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.